Good morning. Coronavirus soft lockdown week 2, Saturday the 4th of April. I just listened back to last week's memo that I recorded on the Friday after 1 week of soft lockdown. I was obviously taking quite a positive message from the numbers. That quite hasn't been borne out in the last week. Numbers of deaths have continued to rise, but the doubling time is definitely down below doubling every 2 days, but we're not quite at the 3-day mark yet. But it does feel like they've got it under control with the measures that they're taking. This weekend is interesting because we're promised lovely weather, so it will be interesting to see if the herd decides to descend on the beauty spots, the beaches, get all out on their bikes in a mass peloton. We'll just see how that goes and what measures the government takes, especially as next weekend is Easter and people would have been expecting to get away in their caravans, and if it's a nice weekend I can see that's going to be quite tempting. It's quite easy for me. I've got 10 acres here to lose myself in, and walking around this 5-acre field with Grace 3 times a day is plenty of exercise for me, but and plenty of fresh air. But if you've got children and you're stuck in a 14th floor flat, it must be quite hard. And that's got me thinking about the exit strategy. There's a lot of talk about the exit strategy from the soft lockdown in the press. We compare with Sweden, where they're relying on the common sense of the people. I'm not sure that's a good idea, but only time will tell. But even in the UK, some of Boris's advisors are telling him that perhaps he's got to go for that, and that the short-term hit on the deaths of quite a large number of older people might be better than destroying the future for the entire population, or the young population. So that's quite a difficult balance to make, quite a difficult argument, but clearly one that they're having to think about. And I have always felt that, I can see that the soft lockdown helps keep the numbers down, protects the NHS, but what we're really talking about here, I fear, is protecting the reputation of a Conservative government that I voted for, but that doesn't want to be known as the government that saw the NHS totally overrun, totally unable to cope, and people are going to then die in even larger numbers as a result of that. So it's a difficult choice for them, and I think the press have been a lot more on their case this week. A lot more. I've been, I suppose, this week impressed with Matt Hancock. He came back from his dose of coronavirus definitely more determined. He set his targets now for testing by the end of April. Whether he'll achieve it or not, I don't know, but it's always good to have targets. And I was very impressed with his first press conference back, giving the press the chance to come back at him, say, well, have I answered your question? Have we answered your question? Which is what you've got to do. Some of the people just don't seem to want to answer the question, and that never looks good. So that's the end of week 2 of soft lockdown. We'll see where we are by the end of week 3. That will be Easter, so who knows where we'll be. But we live in hope. We've got to get out of this somehow. At some point we've got to come out our bunker and face up to the world, face up to the virus. Will that be sooner or later? Thanks for now. Bye.